want you to close your eyes and imagine someone who knew that you were fighting for your life walked up to you and said these words, "I thought you died." Shocking, right? Disturbing and totally insensitive, so much so that you popped open your eyes. Well, those are the exact same words that a guy said to me some years ago. And for lack of a better word, I was furious. Listen, y'all, I was so angry. I was getting ready to have a Will Smith, Chris Rock moment. And I wasn't going to be Chris. Can I keep it 100? We were in Detroit, and I expected him to at least say, "What up, though?" Nah, I didn't even get that. His words produced the same pain in my chest when I was struggling to breathe as a teenager, ultimately being diagnosed with NHL. Now, I got to be honest. For me, NHL stood for National Hockey League. I said, I'm getting ready to be the youngest owner of a National Hockey League team. Go Red Wings. But unfortunately, NHL stood for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. That's right. Stage 4 cancer. Yes, cancer made me cry, but it did not make me quit. Listen, if we were watching the movie The Color Purple on the screen in here, I'd tell you, just like Sophia, all my life, I had to fight. Do I have any fighters in here? You fought through the storm. You fought through the rain. You fought through the trials of the pain. You don't look like what you've been through. Look around you. You're not the only one. Open your eyes to what our young people are struggling to fight through on a daily basis. I know we criticize and demonize them for their sagging pants, but they're coming from sagging homes, sagging communities, sagging schools, sagging self-perception. But if you pull up the home, if you pull up the community, if we pull up the school, if we pull up their sagging self-perception, I'm a living witness they will pull up their pants. Listen, I don't want you to close your eyes to the reality of the pandemic of illiteracy affecting Black boys in America. Behind every fact is a face, behind every statistic is a story, and only 10% of Black boys in the 8th grade are proficient in reading. 50 million Americans, get this, 50 million Americans cannot read past the 4th grade level, with the group adversely affected the most being African American males. There is a direct link. There is an interconnection between illiteracy and incarceration, as Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu conveys in his books, that prisons are built on 2nd and 3rd grade reading scores. Sadly, 47% of Metro Detroiters are reportedly functionally illiterate. Now, my favorite 2 classes in school were gym and lunch. This photo is a pretty accurate depiction of me in school. One of the very few times I was actually doing work in class, and my grades were indicative of that. I ultimately became a high school teacher. Make that make sense. But in my classroom, whenever it was time to drop everything and read, almost every boy's head dropped on the desk as their book became the most comfortable pillow. And so I thought to myself, why is it that when boys open books, they close their eyes? And I soon discovered that many teachers and schools do not provide culturally relevant reading material to where our children see themselves reflected in the books that they read. Walter Dean Myers, an author of more than 100 books, said this, that books transmit values. If I'm not in the book, what does that say about my value? And so it's easy for me to close my eyes if the book doesn't speak to my value, my community, and my identity. It's easy for me to close my eyes if the book does not connect to who I am, where I am, and where I want to be, my plight, my promise, and my purpose. And this is why I developed the mentoring and literacy program, Boys to Books, designed to empower young males through literacy, leadership, and life skills enrichment. Essentially, leaders are readers. Oh, we have a plethora of mentoring programs, but mentoring without literacy and enrichment is more of a liability than an asset. We must understand that literacy is about more than just reading words. It's about relating to the world around you. And that's why all of us must work together. We must work together to change the narrative, to shift our classrooms, our culture, and our communities in crisis. Why? So our young men won't go to jail, but Cornell and Yale. Not prison, but Princeton. Not a prison house, but Morehouse. Not 4 years in a correctional facility, but 4 years at a college or a university. We are not stereotypes. We are prototypes. We are not thugs. We are scholars. We are not detriments. We are determined. We are not pariahs and predators. We are providers and protectors. We are not liabilities. We are assets to our communities, our schools, and our universities. Essentially, we are our brother's keeper. And I emphatically believe that if we build strong boys, we won't have to repair broken men. And oftentimes our boys have been broken by broken homes, dilapidated schools, and neglected neighborhoods. The power of mentoring provides an opportunity for me to empower our boys, but also to speak to the boy in me who was searching for value and validation, being raised by a single mother without a father. And the question that our young people are asking is, how do I play a role if I wasn't given a script? Our boys want to know, how do I become a man if I didn't see one, much less interact with one? Yes, I battled stage 4 cancer, but by the grace of God, I was able to find the can in cancer and not only write 16 books, but show our boys their value in books. We must impress upon our young people that it's not where you start in life, it's what you do with life that determines where you end up in life. The saying goes that boys will be boys. Yes. Until someone teaches them to be more. Service is the rent we pay for the space we occupy. The words that we tell our young people and the words that our children read can be a catalyst to change the world. So as I stand before you today, I can also stand in front of that same guy who said those words to me. I thought you died. And I can look at him and tell him, you thought wrong. Because as you can clearly see, I didn't die. I multiplied. Whatever you do, multiply your gifts, multiply your purpose, multiply your vision, multiply your community, multiply and bring unity. And just like TED, which stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design, we must triumph, empower, and dedicate ourselves to something greater than ourselves. Thank you.